Okay, so today's lesson is 9.3, angle relationships. An adjacent angle is when two angles are side by side and share a common side, which means that they live next door to each other. So an adjacent angle can look like this. You have an A and a B. So they share a wall. Here's where they share a wall. Also, you have to know that adjacent angles does not help with degrees. So it doesn't help you find like the missing degrees. So if you knew that A was 54 degrees, it doesn't help you to find what B is. Okay, it just tells you that they are next door neighbors. Vertical angles are formed when two lines intersect. They live across the street. So vertical angles look like this. You have an A and a B. They're not adjacent, means that they don't share a wall, and they are congruent. They have the same measure. So if A is 39 degrees, then B is 39 degrees. Okay, vertical angles helps with finding degrees. Okay, you have complementary angle. Complementary angles are two angles whose sum is 90 degrees. Complementary angles look like this. You have an angle that's 90 degrees. We have the box, and it's cut in half where you have the adjacent angle. Supplementary angle is a straight line because it equals 180 degrees. It's two angles that equal 180 degrees. Okay, looking at number 1, it says tell if the angles are vertical or adjacent. 1 is adjacent because they share a wall. Remember, in geometry, you have to do a lot of explaining. 2 is vertical because they live across the street. They are across the street. Okay, if I have, for number 3, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and H. If I said A was 138 degrees, looking at this, there is one that you can figure out what the degree is in one of these letters, so B, C, D, E, F, G, or H, without even have to do any math. You should know that D is 138 degrees, and you have to give a reasoning. You have to say because it is vertical to angle A. Okay, it's vertical to angle A. Now you can find B, what angle B is, because if you look at your definition, supplementary are two angles whose sum is 180 degrees. Here is, look at this. It looks like your supplementary angle A and B. So here, to find your supplementary angle, you have to do algebra. A plus B is equal to 180 degrees. Replace A with 138 plus B is equal to 180. Subtract 138, and B is equal to 42 degrees. You have to give your reasoning still. So B is 142 degrees because it's supplementary to angle A. Now that you know what B is, you can find out what C is. C has lots of reasonings. C is 42 degrees because it's vertical to angle B. Or you could have said C is 42 degrees because it's supplementary to angle D, or C is 42 degrees because it is supplementary to angle A. So understand, geometry, you can get the correct answer, but your reasoning can be different reasons. Now let's look at E, F, G, and H. I want you to look at this. If I have A, B, C, and D here, and I have E, F, G, and H here. If I split this in half, what do you notice about A and E? They're in the same position. So if they're in the same position, whatever A is, E has to be. So E is 138 degrees because its corresponding angle. It's corresponding angle to A. So E is 138 degrees. Once you know E, you can say F is equal to 42 degrees. Now here's your reasonings. There's lots of reasonings. You can say it's supplementary to E, or you can say it's corresponding to B. Okay? Lots of different reasonings. You could say G is 42 degrees because it's vertical to F, or you could say it's supplementary to E, or you could say it's corresponding to C. Okay? And then H is 138 degrees, and you can say because it's vertical to E, or it's corresponding to D, or it's supplementary to G, or supplementary to F. So there's lots of reasonings why you can give for geometry.